Hey Revelation Church, it's Duncan here. I wanted to give you an update on our live streaming of our Sundays and really share the news with you that from September we are going to not be live streaming our Sundays anymore on YouTube. This has not been an easy decision to make. Actually, unlike when we first started our live streaming of our Sundays, it was kind of a no-brainer. We were in the midst of a pandemic. It was a difficult season. Lots of people couldn't come to our meetings. We wanted to make it as accessible as possible, serve everybody in every situation. And so it was a pretty straightforward decision for us. But as we've been able to operate now with a lot more freedom, we felt like we had to make the decision all over again and think, for us, in our particular circumstances as a church, with a calling from God, with everything He's called us to do and the particular focus He wants us to have at this moment, is it the right thing for us to have? And we decided and concluded that for us in our moment, it's not the right thing. And I firstly want to get ahead of any other thoughts that you might be having of, do we think that live streaming Sundays is wrong or bad and that other churches that are doing it are incorrect? Nothing like that at all. This is just a decision that we have made, me and a group of other leaders from the church. We've been talking about it, thinking about it for a number of months. And as I said, it's not been an easy decision for us to make, and particularly because it involves people. There are some people who are, because of their circumstances, dependent on the stream for really good reasons. And so we've been reaching out to them, talking with them, having some really good conversations and coming to some places of working out some perhaps active steps that we can make so that they can keep being connected with us. But you might be wondering why. Why are we not going to be continuing our stream? And really the reasons are, perhaps there's three of them. I think to begin with, I just don't think that we have the capacity, the manpower from a volunteer perspective to be able to do it. And it's not that we couldn't do it, it's not outside of the realms of possibility, but if we're thinking long term and we're thinking about planning for the future, is it where we want to be putting our resources? Is it the thing, again, in line with what God's called us to do? And I think it would just take too much manpower, too much resource for us to be able to do it well, given the way that we want to do our Sunday meetings. There's also other factors to consider, like that we have a few people in the church who would not be comfortable being on a camera. And so then there's big questions to be asked, particularly again around child protection as well. How do you get them involved in our meetings from the front on a Sunday? And then I think there's also a final thing for us to think about as in our particular, what God is asking us to do in this moment where we're really feeling the call of God to be family together. That's nothing new for us. That's what God has instilled in us in the beginning, but to be rebuilding community and to be prioritizing and focusing on being with each other as much as we possibly can. And also relearning how to worship. And if you've been to Revelation Church on a Sunday, you probably know that the way we like to worship is quite free. We want people to feel a confidence to be involved. We don't just want it to be a front-led thing from people who might be happy and perhaps more comfortable than most to be on a camera and for their voice to be heard on a live stream and all of those sorts of things. We want everybody to be able to speak out. And firstly, from a technical perspective, that's quite difficult to then get someone praying out from their seat, caught by a microphone and captured on a live stream. But also, I think just to have the confidence to go for it and know, okay, I'm heard by the people in the room who I can see and I feel safe around to pray out from where I am, but maybe I wouldn't if I knew I was being listened to by I don't know who on the internet and it was going to be there forever, and you know all of that. So we want to create an environment where we have as much freedom as we possibly can to pursue our worship as God is calling us on. And I think just the presence of a camera in the room recording could be inhibitive. I certainly feel it for myself to an extent, and I imagine that for others it might stop them. So those are some of the reasons. As I said, it's really not been an easy decision for us to make, and I would love to hear how this decision makes you feel and what your thoughts are around it. Any questions that you have, please do get in touch. And of course, if the situation with respect to the pandemic changes, then of course we will review this and go with what's best in that moment. But I hope you understand. Thank you so much for watching, listening to some of our reasons, and do be in touch if you've got any questions. Hope it's glorious and sunny wherever you are. See you again soon.